agenda, what's coming up. Number one is the STEM presentation. We are required to give a STEM presentation at the Des Plaines campus, and this year it's going to be in room 1603 on the 29th, which is on a Wednesday, I believe, right? Yeah, it's on Wednesday. So what we'll need to do is, one of the things I want to do with this group right now is figure out, we have a 15-minute slot, 10 minutes for the presentation, 5 minutes for questions and answers. That's how it runs. Here's the thing that we looked at, and I think that people started talking about this. In the past, what happens is we usually had one or two people. The first time that we did this as a Luna team a few years ago, we had one or two people talk about it, and then Gloria said, no, I want everybody to have a say after a minute. That's how that whole thing got started. So we have to do that because of the complexity of our project and the number of people involved. We're kind of stuck with that. Other research projects, yeah, they may have only 2 or 3 people involved. They can do that more. That should be pretty much evident, and that's on there. We have enough people in this group to spawn 5 or 6 research teams from the other groups is what we have to do. So I think that's that's one limitation that we have. So one of the things I want to arrive at so I can report it to Gloria, because these things fill up, is what will be a first, second, or third choice for most people to go in and do this. So I'm going to put down the times. This will be Wednesday, 11:29. So we'll say 2:30, 2:45, 3, 3:15. 3:30, 3:45. Now remember, all of this is at the Des Plaines campus that we're going to be doing. So we're going to be meeting there on a Wednesday at the Des Plaines campus. So the question that I have is, for how many people, does anybody have a specific time constraint? Yes, sir.
So the representing for us for 15 minutes, I'm assuming.
We're going to be there for 15 minutes, right? Okay. Now, let's be very honest about it.
Okay.
First of all, we are given 15 minutes. Let's understand one thing. People take more than 15 minutes to present. You get some of these people doing their research projects, they're going to run on maybe for 20 minutes. So expect, if we're set up for 3:15, we might not get the floor until 3:30. That depends upon how much people are ahead of us. And that's on there. So what you want to do when you're looking at times, don't say, oh yeah, 3:30, I got to run out and go to my next class, okay? Don't plan it that way. Try to give yourself some, because there is some leeway in these. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. So when, anybody have any particular constraints as far as times go? Yeah.
3:30 we have class.
3:30,
yes.
okay.
So anytime before, like if we do it at 3, because 3:15 would probably be too late for us.
Is it Des Plaines too?
Yeah, well, the class is at Des Plaines.
Okay, so our problem is that we have a definite issue with Des Plaines classes, right? Classes starts at 3:30. Yes?
I have a class at UIC until 5 o'clock.
Well, you're out. Okay, what we're going to do, for you, those of you that don't have it, what I'm going to do is we'll make a video. We'll make a 1 or 2 minute video, and we'll go in the other room and we'll do a video and we'll submit that to Gloria. No big deal. This is, this is for the, and then, choose what you want to do, choose about your presentation, and we'll do that. We'll submit it to Gloria by the end of the semester. So, for those of you at this point, so really any time here will be okay, right?
I think 3:15 is kind of close, but if we
3:15 is cutting it extremely close, because I'll tell you what right now, if you've got a 3:30 class, you're not going to present at 3:15. So what we better do is I better aim for you guys to be between 2 and 3 o'clock. That's what I should aim for. Because other than that, it's going to be. I know some of you. I know Simon works. You're not.
Work till 3.
Yeah, you work till 3. I mean, forget it. You're not going to sit there unless you teleport there via Star Trek. You're not going to be able to make it by that time.
Yeah.
Some of you I know because of classes at UIC or because of work may not be able to do it. So we'll just do the video. That's all. For those of us that's in there, I'm gonna aim for, I'll tell you what, I'm gonna aim for anytime between 2:30 and 3 o'clock, see if we can get those. We'll get those in and we'll see if we can have those, because I think because that way you're in, you're out, and that way when you have classes, we're not running into that issue. I wanna make sure that we don't have that, to do that in there. So, and then, because sometimes what we've done in the past, we've gone after 5, we've gone till 5 o'clock, but I want us to get in there earlier now. Anybody else have any issues with this? So I'm gonna say from 2:30 to 3 o'clock. I'm gonna aim for that. I'm gonna send a letter to Gloria this morning, today. Get that in there, we'll get it out of the way. And that way we can plan ourselves around, because usually what she does, Alex. All right, got a quick question for you, Alex. STEM presentation, Wednesday, the 29th. What's your schedule like on Wednesdays?
I'm free after 2.
Okay, very good. Okay, we're good. Okay, so that's the first thing. So we're fine. I will send a letter to Gloria and get this squared away. The other thing, deadline. We have a deadline here for NASA for you to hand in all of your for you to register. I sent everybody. I should have sent everybody the registration forms for NASA. You should have been able to get them. If not, let me know. I do have for you. I have printed out for those of you that have not yet registered some forms you can sign and scan. And again, you can scan them using your smartphone. Just turn them into PDFs and send them to NASA. You don't have to have a formal scan or anything like that. Just take a picture with your phone, convert to PDF, and send it to them. It is due by the 14th. There are a few other things I got to talk to Gloria about. Make sure we have that in there to do that. I think most of the stuff, administrative stuff, we got done in that. So that's the deadline that we have on the 14th. The other thing, these two are kind of linked together. These two items are linked together, and that has to do with next week. Next week, what we're doing is we're going to the Niles Public Library for the STEM presentation. I have already reserved the van for that, but it's going to be a little bit different for those of you that are involved. Oakton, in its all-seeming wisdom, decided they were going to take the truck that we traditionally have used here, and they were going to move it to Des Plaines and give it to the receiving department. So we don't have any access to it. We do have they do have 2 other vans that we do have available. We reserved one of them. I did go out to Des Plaines campus earlier this week, and I took some measurements, and it looks like it'll fit the little robot that we have on. It looks like it'll fit it. Only thing that we got to do is when we load it in, we got to put some plastic sheeting to make sure we minimize any marring that we have on there, because we have to fold down. The seats are fold down. We can't take out the seats, but they do fold down. So hopefully that'll work out. That'll work out for us. I plan Saturday. The plan is for me to pick it up at 9 o'clock in the morning at Des Plaines. I'm going to drive the van over here Saturday morning. So we'll kind of meet here. What time is the?
It starts at 12. We should be there a little earlier.
Yeah, we should be there about 11:45. Yeah, we should be there because we need to set this up. We should get over there, make sure we get it charged up. One thing that I do is I do bring the spare chargers and spare batteries in there, because with the kids playing around with it, it is going to run down the battery. It is going to do that. So we need to plan for that. So we will have everything ready. It needs about, the ironic thing is Optimus Prime is a little heavy. It's about over 100 pounds. So you need about 2 people to load it into the van. So the good thing is we don't have to take the seats out. Hopefully that'll be good. Because taking those seats out, how many of you have taken seats out on that van? Okay. Yeah, you've taken it, Jeremy. Yeah, it is a little bit of doing it is a little bit of an issue. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing here. So those of you that are going to be in on the outreach, we'll meet here. We'll meet in this room. We'll take the van down, load it in, and then what we're going to do is after we're done, we'll bring the van back here, unload the robot, and then I'll take the van over to Des Plaines and do it. It's a little more involved, but I think it'll work. That's on there. The other thing too that we have, as long as we talk about next week. Next week is a holiday. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's what I was gonna say, like, if the campus is closed, how are we gonna get into the plaza and get the robot?
I will have access. Usually what we do is security already knows. I've already been in contact with the head of security, and he's already acknowledged that I'm gonna be here. All I need to do is tell him when I'm gonna be here, and that's all. The building will be open to us. I'm gonna be here first, and I'll make sure that the guard knows, remind the guard what we're gonna be doing. I'll send a formal letter, they know about it already. All they need from me is a formal letter saying, yeah, at such and such a time, what we're gonna do. So we're fine with that. Usually just a matter of just going up to the guard, buzzing ourselves in and telling them, hey, we're coming in here, that's it. That's something I do anyway. That's I do. When you come in, you're just gonna come in through the regular door like you usually. We should have that open. That's on. So I'll take care of the formalities.
Well, the mechanical team, I know you guys are gonna arrange some sort of meeting at Edison's house or Dunkin' Donuts or something. But mechanical team is totally exempt from this outreach event. You guys have
got a ton of
hard
work.
work and deadlines coming up, so don't worry about it.
Just a quick question. I live right next to the Niles Library. Is there any chance I can meet you guys there, or?
Yeah, sure.
I don't care.
Yeah.
We don't care.
I'll just make sure that you have enough people.
All I need is another 1 or 2 people to load the robot into the robot and come back and unload it. That's it.
You totally need us there.
Yeah. And that's the thing. If you live right next to it, why come all the way here just to go all the way there? It doesn't make any sense that we have on it. Really, the only reason we're just coming here is just to load the robot back in. So I'll make sure we do a check. We have everything charged up, and we'll do it in there. But again, for next week, yeah, I think if you guys want to meet, for those of you that are working mechanical team, those of you that are working on the electrical end of it, we can make some alternate arrangement. That would certainly work for us. That's on. Because next week, yeah, they're going to shut it down. I checked with IT, see if they're going to be here. They're not even going to have the labs open next week because the 11th falls on the Saturday, which is a holiday. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing. So the building, pretty much, we'll have the entire building to ourselves when we come in here to do that. So we'll come in and that. So I will write the letter. I will copy everybody on the letter to make sure that we're all on there. In that. The outreach event, pretty much what we do is, I think, Jeremy, you have, is pretty much we'll set up the robot, do some demos on it.
Yeah, I'll throw on a PowerPoint on my laptop on some tables. People would walk by, we tell them what we're doing, we ask them what they're doing, snap some photos, and it should be a quick and easy day.
Typically on these STEAM events, we really steal the show.
Yeah, we do.
We really, we've been doing these STEAM events at Park Ridge, we've been doing them there, and always we've been stealing the shows on these. We did it at the Wheeling Library the year before, so we always steal the shows on these because something about little kids, they love handling something, controlling something that's bigger than them.
With an Xbox controller.
With an Xbox controller, they really get a kick out of that. Particularly when they want to do things like mow their parents down with a robot. They want to do in there. So that's so it's expect that you are going to have a line of kids in there. The only thing I would expect that we want to do with the robot is we want to make sure that the robot actually runs at its low settings. We don't want any sudden jerking motions to go in there. Make sure there's somebody else that's nearby, a stop button, because we don't want to have it like Deborah almost got run over. Because the robot sometimes will take off. That's on there, so we gotta make sure somebody's nearby that can hit the stop button and get the robot to stop. That's on there. Again, like I said, we've seen it very closely with Deborah. That's on there. It just kept going right for her, and you thought the robot liked you. Okay. Anyway, that's the kind of thing we're looking. So look forward to that. It's really those STEM events tend to be pretty cool. We find out, for example, is we also get to meet other people in there, and sometimes those contacts can bear some fruit from all of you. Give you an example. Lynette touched bases with 1 or 2 people last year and the year before, and as a result, she was getting paid to teach some of this robotics, some of the Lego robotics for some of these other companies and that. So keep your eyes open. A lot of good things can happen that's on there, that you can be on there. And typically we get invited. For one thing is I'm kind of surprised about the Parkridge Library. Usually we get invited back every year. So that's the one thing that we need to do. Expect, we're gonna go to Malloy. That's another thing that we're looking at. That's probably gonna be not until next year. Morton Grove is another one that's kind of looking forward to us as well too. So again, these are pretty good activities. They highlight what we do and act as a good, they're very good for us on the outreach report. As far as where we're headed right now, what I'm doing right now is for the electrical team, I pretty much ordered, we wanted to go with a 160 watt adapter, so we're gonna go for that. I'm gonna go ahead and get that ordered. Anything else that we need to order, let me know. I did, by the way, fix the six-wheeler robot, so that six-wheeler robot is operational right now. We can pretty much run it. All you need to do is throw a Pi in there, program it, and it'll run. A Pi and a battery, so you need a battery in there. I'm going to order some spare batteries for that because the batteries that we have are kind of running a little bit low in the tooth, the little ones that we use, and that. If there's anything else regarding supplies or what we need to get, let me know. What I want to do is, if possible, I want to get the orders in before the Thanksgiving holiday. So if there's anything that we know that we need, let's get it on board with the holiday. Hey, Mike, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
All right, so we can get it in. If there's any other supply issues or anything else as far as logistics goes, let me know. That's on there. And then any questions that we have so far? Okay, Jeremy, I'll turn it over to you.
So I don't know if you guys checked out our website, Oaktobotics.com, but we have updated it, pushed some, I don't know if I can use the projector.
Yeah, go ahead. Let me. You have an HDMI? You have a?
This is on this one.
Okay, fine, good. No, this thing is. They changed it.
That's the character.
Yeah. Let me see. I think it's open. Let's see. It's going to go on. It takes a little while to warm up. Okay. Here, let me try it again.
Yeah. If it's not working, we do it. That's fine.
No,
We'll do it after.
I think I'll warm up.
yeah.
Just gotta give a little time.
You go ahead and talk if you want to, Jeremy.
Well, there's team descriptions up, and I would like to make sure that every team has read their own description. You know, this is when you reference back to yourself. What did I do on this team to other people? And you show them Oaktobotics.com. Your team description is kind of a summary of what you've done. So please look over it. Everyone has, everyone has a share in this and authorship. Thank you. We get some lights.
Yeah, let's hit the lights. All right.
So I moved our mission statement up front. So it's just the first thing you see. You guys like, if you've got any comments on grammar or anything you'd like, here's the sub-team descriptions. I hope you guys like proper emoji use.
I like the mage and the software team thing.
Yes, thank you. Good.
I'm
Thank
pretty
you.
sure that's software Jesus, but
So I've also simplified a lot of this page. So now we only have home. We have a 1-year review of each year that we've done for the competition, and a link to the Educational Foundation. So the point of this is to simplify it, make it referenceable, finish it, and then just kind of let go and work on other social media stuff. But if you guys have any comments, concerns, or anything, please go over this, read this with me, this represents you. So,
Yeah, remember what this website's about, it's an introduction. It's an introduction to our team. It's it's somebody's first point of contact with us. That's what it serves.
Let's just
I
go.
really like the menu.
Yeah, I
The
do too.
simplicity of up top.
Yeah.
Did you take the competition pages that I made for 2018, 2017?
I don't think I've added them at all.
I think, well,
Think so.
I was the one who put those up.
Thank you so much. Yeah,
Let me see, because I remember I had to do it kind of on the spot, because I wasn't on the team last year. Yeah, that was Dream Team, the Jordan Bulls. Okay.
So we'll mention our specifics where we placed, but that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's
We'll
pretty
work
much
on-
it.
We'll work on this here. One thing that's coming up is team photos. So we'll probably work this out. This is a lot of to-be announced stuff we'll put up later. But team photos will likely, because they're due in the first week of January, what's more likely is that we're going to get this done around December, so sometime mid-December.
Not mid-December, I would say before the end of the semester.
Sorry, the semester ends mid-December, so sometime early December.
Yeah. Yeah, but what's gonna happen is probably at our next semester, we'll have one.
Yeah. I don't know if we'll have team photos or if it'll just be like a casual dress, but we'll talk more about it as the date comes up. Besides that, we've got a little pop quiz today. I hope you guys have looked over systems requirements, which I have made available. So if you can please close your laptops, got your phones.
Okay.
I'll take it.
Well, like I said, I think what we're really looking for on this quiz is how plugged in, how much have you actually picked up on what your role is in this project. And all of you have different roles in this particular project. So that's kind of what we're looking at. How plugged in are you that's in there? And again, what we expect is by the time we're ready to go down there in May, you should be able to rattle this stuff off like crazy. You should be able to rattle this stuff off really well. That's on there by the time you go there. And some of them may look detailed, but again, I'm looking at see where your place is. Where's your place in here? That's kind of what I'm looking for. What's your place is in here? How do you guys, where do all of you fit? Where are your senior studies fitting in? And that. So take a few minutes, do it. That's on there, and don't worry about what scoring is going to look like. That's that's not what the intent of this is.
But we'll give this 15 minutes.
That's fun.
Yeah.
15 minutes. 15 minutes.
for now.
No.
I'll find.
I like that.
You guys need a little more time? 5-10 more minutes? Okay.
Do we get to do a second quiz?
Depends on how well you do in the first one.
As I said before, what we're looking at is how everybody, what everybody picked up. That's what we're looking at. Jeremy?
Alright guys, thank you very much for doing that. There are two solid points now that this is over that I want to address. The first bit to this is relevancy. Okay, so if you are on outreach team and you don't know how autonomy is graded, that's absolutely fine. I don't have that expectation in the first place. If, for example, you are on software team and you don't know how autonomy is graded, that's a conversation we're having today. So take a deep breath. What was really important to take away from this is your basic knowledge of what is expected of you on your particular subteam. The second part of this is the third page. The third page talks about what you as an individual do and what is expected of you, your deadlines, who would you contact if you had a problem, and how would you contact them. These will be peer-reviewed through the teams, so rather than just me grading all of these, we're going to have teams stand up for each other to say, I know that this person did that, or I know that that person did that. So peer review is a huge part of this, just to make sure, because I really want to encourage teamwork and communication between everyone. So.
I think as I've told all of you, and I talked to Jeremy about this, what I'm interested in is the third and fourth pages of that. Because that tells me how well you're plugged into the team. And for me, it's not enough for you just to show up here, take up space for 1 or 2 hours. I think what I really want to see is engagement from your part. Are you engaged in the project? Are you doing the research work? Are you finding out more about the contest? Are you finding out more about your project? That's really what this is all about. Because I've had in the past, I've had people that would sit there for 15 weeks, come to one meeting after another, and you tell them to go to the STEM meetings, and they go in there and they don't know what to talk about. They come up tongue-tied. So we need to have, like I said, that's what we're looking at. We're looking at to make sure that you're engaged in that. That way you can go in and you can understand what's going on, and you can see where you fit in that. Go ahead, Jeremy.
Yeah, so that's pretty much it. I think that's the end of this. Like I said, take a deep breath, because if you didn't know something that wasn't in your sub-team's department, relax. You're not going to be penalized for that at all.
No.
One thing that did apply to everyone from far back was defining what a critical path was, and what document would you find this, and what is our teams. So as far as I understand, everyone has access to our systems engineering. I've offered multiple times, so anyone wants to come by and look at that. It's a very important piece for everyone who wants to work in an engineering field to know, because this will come as part of your profession. You can learn it from us very easily, or you can learn it the hard way when you move on. But please, I encourage communication. Don't be afraid to ask questions. I've said this before, but I'll say it again. If you have a problem or a concern, the right way to do it is to bring it up immediately, talk to people about it. The worst thing you can do is not talk about it.
And that is one thing that we want to avoid at all costs, because I think one of the things that went kind of south on this last year was this lack of communication.
And it's about 2 o'clock, so it's just about wraps the meeting.
All right. Just a few things. Anybody, this part of the meeting is, anybody have anything else they want to bring up to the meeting regarding pumping station 1? I should have made the changes to that. So if we should have made changes there, but the additional person being on pumping station 1 should have been made by now. Did you get any? Were you able to go over the pumping station 1? Okay. I've already sent that information there. You may want to contact them and say, hey, Angela, I haven't received any answer back. So try to go there and see what, that goes there, it's in there. So we're pretty much set. Joanna, Joanna, by the way, will no longer be actively participating in this team. She has some personal issues that's in there. And I will be making that place, I'll be having Jeremy fill that spot for the time being. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to issue a letter to the pumping station 1 this weekend. So that's kind of where we stand on PS1. Feel free, as I said before, I think the issue of pumping station 1 has become even more important to those of you that are there. and I'm really following what you're doing as far as your impressions goes. What's happening is they're bringing in some new equipment in P-132 downstairs, which is in the manufacturing lab. And what that means is some of the equipment that we used to count on for the last couple of years is no longer gonna be there. And I don't know, and it's kind of an open question right now whether we're gonna continue to have access to it. So right now, this whole thing with pumping station one takes an even more importance to us on this team. So your feedback, everything else, is we really appreciate it. Okay? And if nobody has anything else to bring up at this meeting, as I said, we covered all of this stuff. Do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Yeah, I do wanna bring one thing up.
Okay.
Okay, so for the last like month or two, I've been going to Maney's High School and trying to like work out some kind of outreach events, but they're just simply not interested. But what I did get out of it is that they gave me the contact information to Gemini Junior High School. They have a robotics team and like a robotics club, and we can do like things for that. I have the contact information, and I still haven't made contact yet, but I just wanted to bring that up, that we can be looking towards that for, I don't know, within the next month or two.
I'll tell you what, give that to Jeremy, we can work with that, and to do that, I think we could contact them, schedule them together. Yeah, no big deal, that's fine. And and as I said before, different teams have got different priorities. That's all, that's it, it's for Jeremy, and that's exactly at the range that we tend to work. Come to work with everybody from elementary to junior high level, which is most often. So that fits right in with what we're doing. Great. Go ahead, forward that information and take it from there.
Thank you.
Very good. Very good. Anybody else before I call with Robert? Okay. By the way, this is Robert's Rules of Order. You found that? Who was asking about Robert? Yeah. Okay. All right. All right, do we have a motion to adjourn the meeting? Okay, who seconds the motion? Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, meeting is adjourned, okay? All right.
That's true.